That's funny.
That's funny.
Hello, harebrained world. What Howard call it, brainiacs. My name is Douglas McCoy, and I am a senior R&Co global educator, and also the creator, co-owner, and creative director of House of Pop. Look it up on Instagram. And we are here with Brooke, who has really, really flipping long hair that we're going to work on. I want to keep it really kind of simple today. We've been doing these Facebook Lives for a bit, and so this is our last one of the year, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I've got Nicholas on the phone camera there. I've got Kat shooting stills, and a very special guest, my favorite photographer in the entire world, Connor Allen. He's here to hang out with us. So what I want to go into first, also ask questions. Let us know you're here. Say hi, what country you're watching from, all that sort of stuff.
Arnco says, hi, Dougie.
Hi, Arnco. Hey, they got my name right. Because I don't go by Doug. So the big thing is with Brooke, she's got really long hair, and she is signed. She's with an amazing management company called MAM. So she is getting work, and so I don't want to do anything that's going to set her up there where she's going to be limited on jobs. But we had a big talk, and I think consultation is where a lot of people kind of go wrong, because we get in the salon and we're like, yeah, what do you want? I want this. Great, let's go shampoo you. And we don't get into the heart of what's going on. So I had a really good consult with Brooke. And one of the things that I like to ask, besides, the typical, what's her routine, that sort of thing, what's her background, the big thing that I want to concentrate on is, what was her worst haircut? Like, if you ask that, all of a sudden your consultation is taking a completely different kind of spin. And Brooke, one time, she had bangs, and that didn't go over all that well. And for her, it's just because it's just trying to grow them out, what to do with them, because she doesn't blow dry. She washes quite often. No irons, no flat irons. So this has got to dry very natural for her. So if I lock her into bangs, that might throw her in a world that she doesn't want to be in. The other thing she had done is somebody gave her a bob, and she hated that. And there is such a thing as long-haired girls and short-haired girls. And Brooke's definitely a long-haired girl. So what that does is it tells me what we're not going to do. I'm not giving her bangs. I'm not cutting it off. So what we talked about, then I asked her what her best haircut was. And she said, as long as it works for her and dries good, that's what she wants. So that's what we're going to do. But right now, it's obvious, hair takes up the majority of her upper body. So she starts losing this. So we're going to bring it up. I'm going to open her face a little bit more. The big thing is, I'm not going to give her bangs, but what Brooke tends to get is what I call like the daughter from The Incredibles, right? So she only has half a face. And I want to open this up so we can see all of her. I am going to be razor cutting it. The reason I'm going to be razor cutting it is because I want this to just grow out into something else. I don't want to lock her into, she's got to be back in 6 to 8 weeks for a haircut. I'd rather her be back in about 3 months. So I am going to be razor cutting it. I'll probably be doing a little bit of scissor work. So what we did was shampooed her already with television shampoo and conditioner from Arnco. And she's actually getting this little bag. So this is the bag we're going to be using on her. And I'm giving it to her as a gift. So that's what we're going to be doing. It's not going to be overly technical, but I do want to get into, if you have questions about the razor, that sort of thing, I want you guys to ask. Otherwise, we're just going to hang out, and I'm going to do a haircut, and it's like super fun. So, yeah.
We got people watching from Bosnia.
Bosnia.
We've got Roger watching from Netherlands.
Hey, Roger.
Franco from Antarctica.
Franco.
All around the world.
So I'm starting off this simple section. I'm actually going to end up probably having her stand up. Not yet, but when you start having to work over the chair, so you're automatically getting graduation, and I want this perimeter to be clean. So one thing in the consultation that I found is that Brooks had some breakage because the rest of it hangs way down, right? The breakage is already going where I want to be, which is really cool. The other thing that I want to concentrate on is taking a big enough section that I have hair to cut. A lot of times we can get into where we take too small of a section because we're trying to take those quarter or half inch sections and there's not enough hair to cut. So instead of taking my sections for her head, I'm taking them for my perimeter. So I'll take a bit of a bigger section just because she does have that breakage.
There's some Washingtonians watching too.
Ooh.
Some people from home.
Seattle people?
Washington.
Just Washington.
As much as I know.
Just decent.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey, Brooke, you want to stand up for me? I want you to come around here. I want you to put your hands in the back of the chair.
Can do.
Thank you. Make sure we have enough light. Okay, cool. I brought in extra light. So the big thing with the razor is that it's like Razor 101. Is there's the tip of the blade, the heel of the blade, and the middle of the blade or the flat. The tip I'm going to be using for the right side, and if you're a left-hander, just switch everything that I just said. But I'll use the tip on the right side. And the reason why is because I can get the blade right into the section, right? I can keep it to where I'm actually cutting a line instead of just thinning it out to nothing. The part that we want to watch is for right-handers is the left side, because I need to use the heel on the left side. But in order to cut my line, if I just hold it straight down and I cut it, you can see I'm actually cutting on top of the section instead of on side of the section. So if I want to cut on the side, I'm going to have to bring it out, which now I'm elevating, now I'm getting graduation, which I don't want. So when I cut the left side, I'm actually going to twist my hand around so that I can cut a nice clean line. I'm going to cut straight to her back. So when we get done, it'll be there, and it's just much nicer instead of having a really strong line on the right side and a really weak line on the left. So I'll show you what that looks like.
Cool.
So I'll just bring it straight in. And I'm going to use a fairly short stroke. So you can see what you just cut. This benefit of a razor. Pull it straight in. Remove that. So now I get a much cleaner line. So now I can move into my right side. Use the tip of the blade.
Brianna wants to know why razor instead of scissors.
If I cut it with scissors, now I can do this haircut with scissors, but if I cut it with scissors, I'm cutting a blunt line. Even if I point cut, I'm still cutting blunt, which means that line is going to grow out much quicker. Where if I do something that's a little softer and variegated, that line's going to grow out much softer, and basically it'll just grow into something else. Where a lot of hairdressers will pre-book their clients 6 to 8 weeks. I tend to book my clients every 2 to 3 months. And that's so I want it to grow into something else. I don't want to lock them in. But if I was doing something a bit more precise, then yeah, I'd use scissors.
Are you using a cutting spray or?
Yeah, we've got some one by Arnco on there right now. And that just adds a little bit of slip to the hair, not much. I don't want it really silky. Her hair is already super healthy and strong. It's nice with the razor, if you think about it. I was thinking about this the other day. It's that when I'm petting, all I'm doing is using it to erase what I don't want. I'm just working my way up the head. So now I'm to the part where I call it play space. So everything from the occipital bone to her hairline is making up my perimeter. As you can tell, it's super strong. But here's where I want to, when I'm above the occipital to the bottom of the crown, it's free space. I want to break this up. So I'm actually going to section this and have Brooke sit down for me. I want layers in this, but I don't want to do them technically. Because if she gets booked for a job where they want her to have silky straight hair and they're gonna flat iron it, I don't want them to have to mess with the layers, right? So what I'm gonna do instead, which is nothing basic about this, is I'm gonna bring it down low elevation. I don't want this because what I'm going to end up doing is going too short. So I'm going to keep it at a low elevation, and all my layers are going to be internal. So there's my perimeter. So I'm just going to go in and very lightly take out my excess. I'll do it slow for you guys at first so you can kind of see where we're going with this.
So we have Marina watching from Italy.
Marina,
and
we're in Italy. I'm going to be there in May.
She just says Italy for right now.
Cool. I'll be in Milan in May.
She says she's got a struggle with razor with keeping the guideline. Any tips?
Because you
just because it's so
yeah,
free
no,
form.
that's a great question. The only thing I can respond to that because it depends on what exactly you're thinking about. Too many times we get in with a razor and we try to use it like a pair of scissors. And so we're looking for that blunt, clean line. The whole point with a razor is that you don't have that blunt, clean line. So my advice is work it that way where you're using the tip on the right, the heel on the left. Because the only thing you're ever going to use the middle of the blade for is for cutting in a hairline and for layers, like what I'm doing now. So keep doing all that, but just loosen your loosen your eye up a little bit and let it be a little bit more free instead of trying to cut like precision with the razor. You can, it's just gonna take you forever. So what you can see now, it's just what that does is it's just started to open up this wave that's in her hair, right? But you can't see it. If I comb it all straight down, it still looks like one length hair. But all that internal layering or inversions, that's what's waking all this hair up. I'm cutting it right down to my perimeter.
Claudia says hi from Portugal.
Hi, Claudia. What I'm not going to do is do what I was just doing when I get to just behind the ear, because this hair is much weaker and it's only this much hair. If I go and cut into that, all this is going to start bouncing up. So avoid that area.
So Kelsey's asking, would you still do this cut on somebody who's really light blonde,
Yeah.
color processed?
Yeah, if their hair can take it. And I think we get a lot of those questions. Would you do this with this person? Would you do that with that person? Don't think of it so much. It's like you've already gone to training. You've already been educated. Don't those bits are already in your head. I'm not doing a haircut. I'm doing Brooke's haircut. So her hair can do this. If I have somebody else in my chair that maybe their hair can't handle it, I wouldn't do it. It's all individual. You know, you guys have heard me say this before. It's like, I'll never do this haircut again. It's a one-off. It's just for Brooke.
Caitlin Butler says hi.
Caitlin! Kitty butts. Go follow that girl on Instagram.
I do.
But that's where you get, you know, your precision cutting, the stuff you do, like if you go to Sassoon, you go to school, learn all that because it's important, but don't let it dictate later how you do it. It's like as soon we get into our clients come in and they want a bob, and you give them like the most perfect bob ever, but you did a perfect bob, but is it the perfect haircut for her? You know, that's a huge aspect of what we do. But it's fantastic because their hair's already there. And I already know I want this to be quite grungy, like 90s. Because she doesn't blow dry. So why would I lock her into something that's has to be dried? It's just a better look for her. So I'm gonna get in the front, and you can already see where it's either broken or it's been cut. I doubt it's been cut. Because you said it's been how long since a haircut?
Probably about a year.
Yeah, it's been about a year since she's had a haircut. So it's like, that's breakage, but I'm really liking it. Like, really liking where it's hitting. My first thing is I gotta get rid of this. And I gotta get rid of it, not because somebody who made up a haircut tells me I have to get rid of it. I have to get rid of it because it's for her face. Like, there's a body down in here, and I've got to remember that the haircut has to fit this, and it has to fit this. And if it doesn't, you just did a really great haircut but made a girl look horrid. So, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So we treating hair for you. I'm gonna have her turn her head because I need a flat area to work on. I'm not saying you're flat. It's a flat layer.
Yeah.
Because I can't do it on her shoulder. Because as soon as I hit shoulder, I'm gonna be lifting my fingers out, causing graduation. And again, I'm cutting perimeter now. So I'll have her turn her head so I can just work in this flat area and I don't have to worry about moving things around. Because what that looks like is if I have her head this way and I'm cutting over here, I'm elevated. Here I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm just watching where her hair wants to bend. Bring it all the way over to the side. Because if I pull it this way, I'm going to push back. And I don't want it to push back. I want it to come straight down. Kat's already doing blow dries.
Some people are asking if you would still be razoring when the hair is a little dry.
Yep.
Because they're saying it looks not wet anymore.
It does. And it's the reason why is because it's damp. It's got a little bit of slip to it. But wet hair will lie to you. So if it's too wet, it stretches. And it's not sitting where it's going to sit when it's dry. So I want it damp, but not wet. I hope that answers that.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is I'm cutting with the edge of the blade, so I'm not shredding it. I'm actually cutting my line. Going back where I left off. And it just falls in there great, and then there's into my length. I'm gonna work that all the way down. And then I'll just just connect with my back. Turning my fingers in so I'm still cutting a straight line. Nothing over-directed. And again, I'm just erasing what I don't want to see. It's like if it doesn't need to be there, then I'll use the blade to erase it. I'm not cutting a sharp line. Don't let that go. There's two things I need to see, which is cheekbones and a jawline. If I can't see that, might do it for a fashion reason, but on a wearable reason, it's like I've got to see cheekbone and jawline because that means she has a face now. That's a great one. Is that better?
Much better. Yeah.
So same thing, I have her turn her head. Perfect. So this hair on this side's a bit finer. So I'm gonna go in and hit it with a little bit of one. But I'm not soaking it. And how that looks if you are using scissors, like I said, I'm doing nothing that I can't do with scissors. So if I was gonna do this with scissors, comb it the same way, straight down. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and talk it, not slide. I'm just going to talk that bit, right? But you see the difference, it's just very heavy and very blunt. And by the way, these are my favorite scissors from Mizutani, and they're 8-inch, so.
Big boys.
Big scissors, don't mess around. But now I'm just going to go in, since I just demoed that, I'm going to loosen this back up. It's softer, but that's the difference. It's a razor cut because I'm using a razor, but the tool doesn't make the haircut. The hairdresser makes the haircut. And the person you're putting it on makes the haircut. We're in Washington State and it was snowing earlier today.
Don't remind me.
It was horrible.
It was terrible.
Please go ahead and look up on it. Using the tip of the blade. Hey. We got this long piece right here that I don't like. It's because I haven't dealt with him yet. So again, not classically layered. Now I'm going to go in, do some internal. I love hearing all the shutters going off, so I highly recommend you guys find yourselves really great photographers. Play with them. Collaborate with them. So it's like I've got internal layering or inversions through the back. I got some here in the front, but now I want this crown to jump. And those of you who know me, it's like I'll cut this until it's dry. I want to see exactly what's happening. But what I'm going to do is just a slight arrowhead. And the trick about arrowheads is that, first of all, you got to get your sections right. That helps. The trick is that can't, this is gonna be your part that falls over. If you cut an arrowhead and you end up cutting that off, you're gonna have a ledge. So we don't want that. So I'm actually gonna start where that wants to bend. And ever so lightly, I'm gonna come up to my length. So what that does, as you can see, it just jumped. It loosened all that up. That's what we want to see. If you guys want to see more of this, one of our co-founders, Howard McLaren, is going to be in Seattle next month. So if you live in the area, get your tickets at arnco.com and go see him. He'll be doing a lot of this. He'll probably explain it a lot better than I have. Is your agent know you're cutting your hair?
No, actually. Sorry, Anne.
Ann loves it when I cut everybody's hair, so yeah.
I'm sure she won't be upset.
Always check with your agent before you cut your hair.
It's great advice.
So my big thing is, it's like, the meat of it's done. That's, you know, super quick. It's like 15 minutes. But now, you gotta look at it. You gotta make sure it all works. And then you customize it. I'm liking where it's at. Still think we're a little heavy on that side. Come get next to you, Nick. So I'm gonna come get next to you.
Okay. Let's get cozy.
So I'm taking weight out and then cutting where I want my length. There we go. So that works. I've got a face. Let's see it on this side. Come on the floor. My bag in my station, the top drawer,
Yeah.
has another gold coin.
Cool.
Thank you. Now you start messing with it. This is when you start seeing what looks you can get. It's really horrible to cut something symmetrical and then wear it asymmetrical, and then you've got layers on this side and it's one length on this side. Gold one. That's rose gold.
Yeah.
So I hope this is making sense for everybody. But again, especially if you're used to having like training where they give you a haircut to do, which is great, it builds practice. But after a while, it's like you've got to be able to customize it to your client. And that's one thing, Arnco and House of Pop that we work on. It's not about the haircut, it's about how the haircut works on the person. Everybody falls asleep.
I think so, because they just stopped asking questions.
Night.
You answered them all.
Well, it's almost, you know, cocktail time
Yeah.
on a Monday.
Everyone needs their Monday cocktail.
So what I'm going to do now is take a little bit of high dive, which is just a moisture and shine cream, which is just that. It's moisture and shine. I don't want to put anything in her hair that's going to make it, because I'm just going to hand dry this. If I was blow drying it into something, I might use something else. But High Dive's just super soft. Remind me of an oil-based cream we used to use in the 90s that made the hair super soft. You could put it in, let it air dry, or you could still blow dry with it. And that's what I got, minus the oil. So we don't need as much oil in there as we used to. But High Dive just, it wakes it up. I don't know if you can see in the light, but it's just all this texture now that she didn't have before.
Really good?
It's like, oh, hair. Nothing like a fresh haircut. But what I'm doing now is I'm not looking at the haircut, I'm looking at her. And I'm moving this around, making sure that everything I'm seeing, I'm liking. And that's where, especially once you get into editorial and you start working behind the camera, you start training your eye to start seeing this. And what I'm looking for is drama. I'm looking for, you know, not just, oh, it's a great haircut, but it's a great look. But that's just with the Moisture and Shine Cream, which is basically just a leave-in conditioner on steroids.
Just kind of looks good like that.
What's that?
It just looks good like
I know.
how
it's
it
just-
is.
And that's how I'd have her air dry it. Just twist it and just let it dry. So let's speed things up a little bit. A little time-lapse photography.
Why do you use a diffuser instead of by itself?
I don't want to blow the hair all over the place. I want it to still be like an air dried. If I get in there with the blow dryer, I might blow it apart. Doesn't mean I can't. I'm thinking like early Alanis Morissette, you know? Alanis's hair in that You Want to Know video was so Because it looked like she hadn't washed it.
Yeah, just dirty.
There's nothing more frightening than a pissed off woman. And that's why I like haircuts like this so much, is that it's done for the person, not for the haircut. So it's like when we go out and we teach for R&Co, Like, we'll talk about the product if we need to, but most of the time it's about why. Why did I cut it this way? Why did I pick this product? Why am I styling it this way? Rather than connecting the dots. Things don't always have to be so overdone. Like, clean, healthy hair is just as much of a look as an iron set, brushed out, red carpet. They're all looks. If she tells me she doesn't use product, I'm not going to argue with her. I'm like, cool. If it works. If it doesn't work, then it's like, I've got stuff. Always a fun part with booger. You can hear a word you're saying.
Right.
You have
I
your
hope they
clients
can
and
actually
chatting
hear
with
that.
you, and you're like, yeah. Uh-huh. Can't hear a word. I said, it's just pretty healthy, clean hair, but it moves so much better now. It's lighter. There's nothing you can't do to it. She can still put it up. You can still set it. It's just cool hair. I don't have to use a billion products in it because I picked the right one. Sometimes you're like layering. Please work. Please work.
Do something.
But I love this clean hair. So I'm gonna take this off her and just let it sit so I can see her. But I think it needs some more shine because I know I've got 2 photographers here, so I know she's getting some pictures taken. So it's like, let's oomph it up a little bit. So I'm gonna use some glittering, which is like super cool. It's not glitter, but it's shiny and sparkly and it doesn't weigh anything. So especially if you're going for like a grunge look. We don't want too much on her ends. It should look dirty on the top because that's where the oil goes. Brooke and I had a chat about overwashing our hair.
What's a healthy amount to wash?
When it needs it. So, especially girls with long hair, if they're working out, the yoga freaks and stuff like that, it's like sweat isn't dirt, it's just salt water. And we use that little dry shampoo. Brooke's getting some spiritualized dry shampoo when she leaves. But oil comes from here, it's gotta get down here. So if we're overwashing it, it never has a chance. And the hair at the ends are going, what about me? And so I like just rinsing it using like a foam cleansing conditioner, like Analog, where it kind of cleans the hair, but keeps the oil in it. I don't like this guy. But when I cut, I tend to treat the cut like I'm on set. So it's like anything I don't like, I can cut off, I can change it, I can twist it. We'll tuck behind the ear. It's fantastic. What if we slicked it all back? Right? We've done that one though. Yeah, nice, simple, clean. Who did your shirt?
Do it with soul.
Do it with soul.
Yeah.
Is that like
Local
like
company
at
here in
Do It With Soul?
Spokane. At Do It With Soul. I think it's here.
Yeah.
On the shirt. Yeah, really cool company.
I love it when people wear local stuff.
Yeah. Gotta support
We'll
your
give them a shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like super 90s, super pretty, simple, clean, no fuss. Remember, clean hair can be a look, just like a set can as well. So cool. So I think I'll build this a little bit more. Trophy.
Some on my station. Or whatever.
Oh, excellent. Just so it lasts till we get her on set. Use a little trophy. So that went really fast. Set up 15 minutes. So many looks we can get out of it. But that's the thing. And anybody that's been in my classes that I talk about, it's like, get the haircut done. Haircut takes like 10, 15 minutes. Get it finished and use the rest of the time to see what else you can do to it. Because she's going to play with it. That's a bit more like
Glam.
Mud Club. Garen did an amazing Mud Club look for Anna Sui a few seasons back. I love that idea. Mud Club was an amazing club in New York in the 80s. And all the girls kind of had a look. So that's fun. But it's like you can get all these changes with minimal effort. But you just have to play and you have to experiment. And that's why the clients are coming to sit in your chair. So they want to play, they want to experiment. What can I do with it? Instead of locking them into, you have to do this. Because if you tell your clients they have to do that, that's exactly what they're going to do. Yeah. Keep your phone there, Nick, because I can't see you in the mirror.
Okay.
I'm using your phone. See, now we're getting some
That
volume,
looks cool.
right? Let's see how it changes. It's amazing what a haircut can do. So we loosened up all that weight. Your hair wouldn't do this before. I just want to encourage everybody to play with their clients. Show them all this. Because if you don't, they don't see it. They don't know it. You did an injustice to them. Here, I need your microphone.
Sorry, it just looked really cool.
I can't see. Right? It's just,
Yeah.
again, it's just got high dive in it. You know, freshly shampooed. High dive, little glittering, put some oil into it. Little trophy to get some tack in it. And just my hands, no brush. It's like all the looks you can do on camera. Put them on your Instagram. Sweet. Good? Happy?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Always happy.
There we go. Cool. All right. Let's go get you your bag.
Oh, thank you.
So she's getting television, shampoo and conditioner, some Death Valley dry shampoo. So you're getting dry shampoo, and a little baby bottle of High Dive
Cute.
because she's gonna come back and get more. So that's for you.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let's go say goodbye to the tree.
Cool beans. Oh, the tree.
Go say goodbye to the tree. I got Santa.
Huh?
There we go. Kat, where are you?
Cat.
Get over here. Come in. So Nick won't because he's got the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So on behalf of Arnco and Hairbrain and House of Pop, this is our last one of the year and it is the holidays. So we want to say happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you do is all cool. And we got amazing things coming for you next year. So go to arnco.com and see our class schedules. Like I said, I'm going to be all over the country, but for the person from Italy that said hi, I'll be in Milan in May doing a 2-day class there, so get your tickets. Otherwise, happy holidays, and we'll see you later.
Bye.